Hi friends and fellow Earth Angels, it's Gladys, and welcome back to another one of my weekly Sunday card readings. And this spread will start by covering May 17th to the 23rd, or whenever you're guided to watch, as I always intend these readings to be timeless, meaning you can come back at any time to receive insight and guidance. So I feel like with the Jupiter retrograde, the Pluto retrograde, the Saturn retrograde, and the Venus retrograde, I feel like we are phasing out the inner critic, the inner bully, the pusher, the that inner part of you that's been tough on yourself. And this week, I'm really being guided to share the words soften and nurture, soothe and comfort this week. Tap into the energy of love. And that's not love in the world. It's about love and acceptance of who you are, where you're at in life, and the present moment. So I chose cards this week that symbolize beauty, that symbolizes softness and love. And so really I'm accessing that divine feminine energy this week to bring you messages that I pray will comfort you, support you, teach you, and inspire you. So if you're burnt, if you're depleted, if you're in that place of rigidity, the universe is asking you to soften, nourish, be mindful. If you're hypercritical of the world, chances are it's a reflection of your own inner energy. And again, of course, this isn't to blame or shame. Sometimes we have to be aware of things in order to shift and change them. And I think that's what the universe is bringing to light, especially with the intensity of this retrograde energy. As we go into June in a couple of weeks, it will be the eclipse season, the Mercury retrograde, and I just posted a pick a card or pick a pile reading to support you through the retrograde energies. So if you haven't seen that yet, I would suggest after this video or at some point during this week to go check that out. I will link it in the, it will be linked on the screen at the end of this video for you. So you can just click on over to that and I will explain the retrograde energy even more. So I didn't mention Jupiter, but Jupiter is also retrograde, the planet of luck and well wishes. So what is roaring at you this week and how can you put down the sword and soften? When people are in pain, it's coming from a place of hurt, right? So they can be prickly and ornery. So how has your inner critic or bully been really beating down that softer, loving, gentle part of you? All right, so I'm not going to say too much more. We're going to get into the cards. So the cards I chose for me represent beauty. And they're either Angela Hartfield or Josephine Wall as the artwork, as the artist, or both. So here we're going to use Whispers of Healing. That's this deck to kind of get a theme for the week. And then we'll get additional messages from Nature's Whispers. I'm going to check in with your emotional status with the Whispers of the Ocean, emotional support. And then mystical wisdom. This is the action or the shadow stuff for you. Maybe the parts that you aren't seeing. And maybe my intention with this deck is a pathway for you, to bring a message that's a pathway for you this week. And we'll finish off with a love message from Whispers of Love. So again, these cards are either by Angela Hartfield, or the artwork is by Josephine Wall, or both. All right, friends, so let me open up space. I want to invite in all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God, source, creator of the universe, and all his holy beings of light who would like to assist with this guidance for you today. I want to tap into that divine feminine energy, Mother Nature energy, the energy of cherishing, nourishing, soothing energy. And I'm going to ask that the messages that come through be for your best and highest good, and the best and highest good of all concerned. All right, friends, so let's start. What theme will be for this week? Go. And Guardian. Beautiful. Oh, look at 44. And those of you who've been following me for a while knows that I connect 44 with the angel number. It means hundreds of thousands of angels are with you. Ask them anything. And so I feel like the guardian message is call on your guardian angels this week. If you're feeling alone, like I said, if the intensity of that inner bully or critic has been roaring, right? Rigidity, trying to control, things like that. And again, it's just stuff to be mindful of. It's not good or bad, right or wrong, but it can deplete your energy real fast. And so here's the thing. Here's this beautiful person here surrounded by light. And it's like she's speaking to an angel. So I think this is the angels coming in this way. I don't think, I feel that this is the angels coming this week and saying that you're not alone. We're here with you, and we're guardians watching over your divine mission, your divine path. Call on us for assistance. The angels abide by the law of free will, and they do not intervene. God, same thing, unless we're asking. This is why prayer and meditation and being open and being in receiver mode. So we all have masculine and feminine within us. And so when we're not allowing the feminine energy to flow through us, the distorted masculine can rear its ugly head. Again, that bully being hypercritical, judgmental. And what it'll do, it's kind of that ego part of you that will want to pull you outside of yourself and really focus energy on the 3D world to fix and save and change and make better. I feel like this is a message that keeps coming through in my sessions with clients, myself, and also with these readings. So this is the week to really be mindful and get clear, like, okay, that's the beast. That's what I have to face, right? And so how is what you've been doing working for you? Maybe it has or hasn't. And how can you adjust? Those of you who are in the space, and again, these weekly Sunday readings have been split. They've been people who have been challenged, and then it's also connected with the earth angels who are the guardian angels for people, who are showing up in love, who have learned to soften and be open to being receptive and connecting with Mother Nature. Those of you who are in that space, please know that your vibration alone is changing the world. All you have to do is be in that space. Yesterday, it was a beautiful afternoon, and I got to sit in my backyard for a little bit and read a book. I'm reading a book on the goddess, Awakening the Goddess Within, or something like that. And I have this beautiful tree in my backyard that has all pink flowers all over it. It reminds me of Aphrodite, who's the goddess of love and relationships. And I've been really trying to embrace that energy for like myself, which I believe a lot of earth angels who have been on this spiritual journey, you're finally getting your presence, enjoying nature, creating love and beauty, and putting that into the world. So I'm speaking to the part of the collective that has been doing the inner work, and you're really living this state in this way of being and this vibrational state. And so I'm sitting there, and the wind picked up, and these beautiful pink feathers are just falling to the ground. They're falling in my hair, and I got to see the goddess, the divine feminine, like present all around me. And it just brought out this love in my heart. And so I really took a moment to savor it. So those of you who are on this path, the more you appreciate those beautiful, loving, soothing, comforting moments, the more you take a moment to savor that. And actually, when you put energy towards things that are beautiful in the world, it radiates even more powerfully. I did it the other day. I went for a walk and I got to be able to stand by the water for a little bit, and I was just receiving the air. The geese were on the water and it just looked like diamonds as the rippled. And it was funny because I was savoring the moment, and as I was walking back, literally a turkey ran like right in front of me, maybe like a foot and a half, like ran right across the path, and a dog had been chasing it, and it looked at me. I looked at it. I like jumped. I was like, oh, but it was so funny. Like it was like comical. It was like something out of like a comic strip, and it was like the turkey was just looking at me saying hi bye and ran off. And turkeys are about abundance and love and nourishment, and I felt like it was Mother Earth speaking to me, and she was connecting with me, letting me know that she heard my prayers and my well wishes and my gratitude. So those of you who are on this awakened path and you're in this state, things like that will happen. So savor those moments. Those of you who are still challenged, and we all intertwine with these energies on a daily basis, sometimes by an hourly basis. Those of you who may find yourself hypercritical this week, or rigid, or projecting out into the world, like people should do this and that. Again, it's not always helpful. It really doesn't supercharge your energy. And so the angels are saying to you this week, call on us, be open to receiving guidance and support, and we'll show you the way through mindfulness, through being present, through choosing thoughts and actions that are going to nourish you, cherish you. There's a lot of upheaval with relationships, with Venus retrograde. There's a lot of energy and experiences that are coming back from the past, things that you thought you may have closed out. And so retrograde energy doesn't have to be doom and gloom. It can really be, okay, how can I really face this and transform it in a way that the divine can assist you with. You don't have to do it on your own. I'm also seeing 44 as like structure, order, foundations, right? How are you maintaining your spiritual disciplines or rituals and structure to assist? I was saying in the retrograde, so I'm not going to say it too much here, but in the retrograde video, I want to say it because I don't know exactly what pile I was saying it in, but we as earth angels are sensitive to energies, and there's this vibe out there with empaths that you have to like shelter and shield, and it can seem very like run away and hide energy. And so, us who are sensitive have come into the world that's part of who we are. It's part of the experience. And so if you can think about being around other energies, it's almost like if you're going to go for a run out on a warm day, chances are you're going to get sweaty. If you're going to go out on an ATV and go mudding, chances are you're going to get muddy. But what you do is you just go home and you take a shower and you're clean, right? So if you can think about maintaining your energy like that, it needs to be on a daily basis because the world needs you. And so there's nothing, for me, there's nothing more wonderful after, I've been out and I've been hot and I'm sticky, of taking a nice warm shower and just clearing the energy away. So the angels want to be that for you. When you invite them in your life, they're clearing your energy field. Some of you maybe can benefit from regular chakra balancing meditations. So again, if you're in that place of rigidity and you're feeling stuck, go to those meditations. I'm going to put a few meditations in the description box below that I find that I use if I'm doing big groups, or I'm finding I'm working with a lot of clients and a lot of different energies. I'll put the ones that I use as a guide, but again, go with what resonates for you. Maybe you already have one, but we really need to, all 8 earth angels across the board have to start maintaining our energy, just like you go out, you put in a hard day's work, maybe you go for a ride on the bike path, you come home, you take a shower. It's just a natural part of the process. It just is, as opposed to good or bad, right or wrong. Hope that makes sense. All right, so additional messages from the angels. It's so funny that the angels came through because I had all angel cards out, and I'm like, you know what? I feel like I want something different. So it's crazy, beautiful how the angels came in, regardless of which cards I chose. So additional messages from the divine. I'll go with this one. ideal course of action. Nice. So 3 + 7 is 10. 10 is new beginnings. 1 represents new beginnings. So calling on the angels, asking them for assistance with your ideal course of action. I've been seeing a lot of these dandelion energies out there. Make a wish. I was kind of laughing this morning. The landscapers missed a spot, and a few of these are still hanging around. And my dog was going over and he was smelling them. He was just going up to it and he was like sniffing it and going on. And I'm thinking, are you telling me to make a wish? Keep my thoughts positive. So for those of you who are seeing the symbolism of this, it's really like make a wish, like ask the universe for what you would like to receive more of. Focus your attention on positive insight, positive energy. You have to feel it in your body. I mean, we can mentalize things till our mind is burnt, but we've got to really bring it and feel it in our body in order for law of attraction to really vibrate at high levels. And so again, if you're finding pathways and dead ends and things that are coming up that are not working, then, the angels can assist you this week with an ideal course of action. Maybe you'll come up with a new way of doing things, a new approach, but it's going to require you sitting in a place of stillness. You have this person here who's kind of looking out. She's in a place of contemplation, and it's almost like there's this energy of asking or being out or overlooking. So maybe some of you this week will be overlooking where you're at on this journey. You might get the symbolism that's coming up. If you're into spirit animals, we have the lion here, the polar bear, the flamingo, the lizard. For some of you, these may be part of your totem animals to connect with. So maybe if angels aren't your thing, maybe it's connecting with Mother Earth and the totem animals that are coming out. I spoke a little bit about that with the turkey. I see all signs in Mother Nature. Again, maybe it is the make a wish, the good luck. This is kind of like Jupiter energy, like the tides are turning. So you kind of have to face what's not working and be open and receptive to an ideal course of action or a new way of doing things. All right, let's get into your emotions. How can the angels support you with your emotions? Or what do they want you to know about your emotions this week? These cards are relatively new. Okay, let's go with this one. Ooh, a car horn just beeped. I was like, do we go with this one? Car horn beep. Yep, I'm ready. Let's go. Ooh, shedding of the old. Telling you, friends, I think that's going to be coming up this week. And really, we're not going to know what that is until we feel the adversity and until we feel the resistance, we feel the frustrations. So here, wow, look at that card. Is that an interesting card? Ooh, here comes the sirens. There's a lot happening around here now when I pulled this card, especially in the emotional body. You're unpacking and shedding the emotional baggage. So it says there is a change coming your way. Friends, ideal course of action. Angels are your guardians. It says cultivate a sense of adventure, so that you'll be able to see these new prospects. These messages are big in new things are coming, new cycles. The retrograde video that I did was all about endings and new beginnings. There were lots of 9s, not lots of 1s, and lots of 7s, which is like inner work, shadow work, in the unseen. It's very feminine energy. So if you're if you're feeling at your wit's end, or you're feeling like, I don't know what's next, I can't see, and you're starting to feel a little anxious, the angels are saying, hey, we're validating your feelings, that you're right of what you're feeling, and we're assisting you with this experience. So shedding the old. I really feel like meditations can help. I talk about Steve Noble's channel a lot. He has some incredible transmissions that can really help you shed from the inside out. This is not you guys having to do more. This is not taking more action. This is going within and taking action in the moment, in the present moment, in the stillness. So how can you interrupt those programs of feeling anxious and out of control and overwhelmed? How can you interrupt and be mindful of those feelings in the moment? Take a few deep breaths, call on your angels, ask them for assistance, and create space. A lot of transformation and healing happens in the present moment. It doesn't happen by something we've planned or something that we've tried to make happen. Maybe some of you are trying to make things happen and it's not working out well for you. And so the universe is saying, have patience with yourself. You're shedding the old. But I feel like for a lot of you, we're talking about energetic baggage. We're talking about energetic emotions and how law of attraction is creating our experience. It's really like what you focus on. So if you're hyper focused on all the bad in the world, it's going to create disorder and chaos within. If you're hyper focused on all the love in the world, it can actually block you, and you can romanticize things, and it can block you from actually taking action to get things done that will help you. So there needs to be a healthy balance. I always say stay informed and unplug. And really, that's different for everybody. You really have to kind of find your happy medium. So I don't know what's going on in the world this week, but it might activate a lot of this stuff for you. So there's change coming your way. Cultivate a sense of adventure so you'll be able to see these new prospects. Oh, I just wanted to say something. There's change coming your way. Let me see here. Okay, so there's change coming your way. So you have to feel the adversity to know what's good for you. So those who are creating resistance in your world, or aggression or judgments in the world, it's almost like you have to experience it in order to appreciate the good, but it doesn't have to be incredibly painful. So trust that the universe has your back. I always say, once you really know and realize that the universe is working for you and not against you, everything changes. So we have to go through experiences, some that are less than ideal, in order to know. So again, your stuff might come up this week, and it's just for you to say, there it is. That's it. Okay, angels, show me how to move forward from it. Show me an ideal course of action. And now you're practicing the balance of the masculine and feminine energy within. So maybe it's about taking action not taking action. It's about finding balance between the masculine and the feminine energy, the receptor energy, the magnetic energy, and then the hunt and a step-by-step process to achieve your goals. There needs to be a blend of both. So let me see here. Just get the cards set up. So these are, what was this? Oh, the mystical wisdom action steps. Additional steps for you to take to support you this week. 7 deadly sins, humanity's destructive traits. Yeah, so this is about getting real with those guilty pleasures. Gluttony, I'm feeling. Too much. What are you indulging too much in? Could be TV, could be food, could be like procrastinating and putting off. Again, I just feel like this is kind of rounding up balance of masculine and feminine. So what projects need to be focused on or taken care of? I keep seeing like gluttony, too much. And so again, when you're mindful of your weakness, when you're mindful, you can shift it and change it. So this week may be intense. It may be challenging. And this is what I feel like this is what I was seeing with this card. It's like the stuff has to come up in order for you to be like, that's what I got to work on. For example, I was feeling bloated the other day. I hadn't been eating, well. And I felt it. And I was like, well, I got really good tools to get back on track. So instead of shaming myself, which I have a long history of, guilting myself, which I have a long history of, I chose in that moment to choose a different energy. And I was like, you know what? It's okay. I really enjoyed what I had been filling up on, and I'm going to do better. Hence going for walks, sitting out in nature, connecting with the sunshine, and I feel amazing. So this is why I say I have to feel it in order to know that I'm veering off track, that I'm coming out of alignment. And then I have really healthy skills and tools, and I have fabulous people in my life who have assisted me with getting me back on track or teaching me how to get back on track. And so that's why I say often, it's not good or bad, right or wrong. It's how are you indulging? How are you overindulging and it's making you feel bad? I really got to go into the book for this one. I feel like there's more messages here. So let me see what they have to say. It says, welcome to the world of human nature. It says the 7 deadly sins are at the root of all destructive behavior. Again, we've got to see it in order to know, and then we can make changes. It says greed and other negative traits drive harmful human activity that impacts the quality of life on Earth, particularly the environment. It is a lack of concern for the preservation of Mother Earth and all these human destructive traits that are leading to the devastation of life on this planet. It is no coincidence this popped up. So a lot of you are seeing this in the world. You're frustrated. You're feeling out of control. You're feeling like you need to do something. You're maybe getting sucked into that vibration and feeling overwhelmed or anxious about it. And so I feel like this is where the universe is saying, hey, we're working with you. We know that this is going on. I mean, it's no coincidence that I chose joy to the world. And joy to the world is you being joy, you radiating joy, or that inner place of stillness, that peace within, no matter what's going on. I talk about Psalm 91 all the time. It's exactly what's happening with Earth Angels. We're finding the peace and the stillness in the chaos that's happening all around. So I feel like Mother Nature and Mother Earth, who's been showing up and saying, hey, this stuff needs to come up and out. We need to see it in the world. It needs to be up and out and released so that we can be aware of where to focus our energy within ourselves and the planet as a whole. So it says, again, 7 deadly sins. Please don't shame or guilt yourself. It's just, again, we're shining a light on the unseen so that you can take a healthier course of action. So there's sloth, which is laziness, gluttony, overindulgence, lust, an intense desire for physical or sexual gratification. There's greed, excessive pursuit of material possessions. There's wrath, extreme feelings of uncontrollable anger. Then there's envy, discontentment aroused by another's good fortune. And then pride, excessive self-love and arrogance. And so again, it's important just to be aware of these, to say, because remember, Earth Angels have come to this planet to know God through the human experience. And with the human experience comes sloth, gluttony, lust, greed, wrath, envy, pride, because it's easy. It's easy to overindulge. It's easy to overspend. It's easy to the world is built, the 3D world is built for chaos, disorder, and disarray. So this spiritual journey, this path of staying in alignment on the straight and narrow, this doesn't mean we can't have any fun. I mean, I certainly have lots of fun, but I do things within my integrity, and I'm mindful of where I'm getting too sucked into the human experience, and I start to fall out of alignment with my divine force, the divine energy that's working with me. So some of you may have just drifted a little too far, and this message this week is saying, hey, we love you, we're here for you, come on back. Where can you reflect upon, say, I I see it with curiosity, like, I'm doing that with envy, or you know what, I'm doing that with pride. And again, not shaming yourself, but saying, okay, angels, show me an ideal course of action. Show me how to shed this stuff so that I can be bigger, brighter, and more vibrant on this planet. Okay, final message of love. Let's see here. What message of love do the angels have for you this week? Overall message of love. Finish up the reading. Overall message of love this week. Oh, it's the tree of life. It says the only thing that is real is love. Shift your focus from the problem back to love. Woo! This reading is a little shadowy, right? Where it's like, all right, we got to give it to you. You got to see it. I think sometimes earth angels, we can get caught up in the dreamy world, the way we want things to be. We can get caught in our imagination and ignore the reality of where we're at. And so I feel like the universe, God, your angels, the divine, they know how you have this deep desire to grow and expand, to feel and experience life in a different way. A lot of you are outgrowing old paradigms, old belief systems, old ways of doing things. You're evolving. And I feel like the angels are saying, but we lovingly need you to see where you're blocking yourself, or we need to you've got to face the self-sabotage, right? Or you've got to face the reality of where you're at. And again, this doesn't mean reality like set in stone, like it is what it is. It's more of a pathway and a navigator saying, okay, this is less than ideal. What can I do to move myself back into alignment? And we've got to show up to it, My excuse was, I channel every day and I'm working with clients, so I'm already in with the angels. I don't have to do my own spiritual practices. And I have to tell you, that really led me to very messy, emotional, yucky energy. And so I have to mindfully, or I need to, in a healthy way, mindfully show up to God in my own practice, my own thing, every single day. And I'm really mindful of that because I'm more sensitive where I start to get out of alignment, where I start to get pulled by the world. My spiritual mentor told me, I was like, it's feeling good. And she made a comment about, it's easy to feel enlightened on top of the mountain, but you've also got to come down and go out into the world and have experiences as well. So maybe some of you who have been in lockdown or the timeout, maybe you are feeling well and the universe is saying, but remember, you have to go out into the world and interact with people who are going to have different opinions, who are going to believe different things in the world. And that's okay. How do you accept the people in your life as they are, however you perceive them? How do you accept that? Maybe they're caught up in the 7 deadly sins and you've been judgmental in that. It's been really raw and hard for you to see. I feel like this card is saying, hey, how can we accept and really unplug from that energy and wanting to run away from it? Those of you who have been on the spiritual journey, maybe you've been in seclusion and it's been really great, and maybe the world will start awakening and people will start going out and there'll be differences of opinions. And how can you choose a different course of action about your next steps as opposed to running and hiding? Like I said, trying to change things that aren't ready to be changed in the world, and shifting back on love. Whatever that means to you. Yesterday, when I was sitting outside and I was watching the flower petals fall so gently, and I'm reading this book on goddess energy, and I just felt love. I'm like, this is love. And it's funny because I was just observing people are driving by and I'm seeing them like peeking down at their phones as they drive by. And I'm like, they have no idea that this beautiful moment of love is happening right now, right? And it was really mindful of like, wow, like what else could I be missing that I'm not seeing because I'm caught up in the head of so far in the future, so far in the past. So really be mindful this week. These are such beautiful messages. And it can be a very transformative week. You can use the retrograde energy to transform, to shift, to shine your old belief systems, your way of doing things. Remember, the Earth Angel and the vibration on the planet, we're going into uncharted territory. We're feeling vibrations of love, unconditional love that we've never experienced before. Many of us, all we know is the conditional love, meaning right from grade school. If you do well and you get good grades, you'll be rewarded. If you get bad grades, whatever that is, C, D, F, you'll get disappointment and you'll be asked to do better and please, right? So we have this vibration of good or bad. And if we're achieving, then we're doing well and we're getting praise in the world. And we really have to kind of accept that we're different and that failing at something doesn't mean it's bad. It means we've got to focus more attention on that and strengthen it. And so that's that unconditional love vibration that comes and says, it's okay. It's okay. It's a time to learn. How can you shift it? What could you have done? How do we accept where we're at and move forward? How do we forgive? How do we release? How do we cleanse and clear, right? And it comes from that place, excuse me, of stillness. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. See? Throat chakra stuff. Communication this week. Expressing how you feel from a place of love and nurturing. I feel like this is going to be a week of ironing things out. So, of course, we hear with the Venus retrograde that past lovers come back or experiences from the past come back, resurrect to be healed. So you might be called to communicate this week. And if there's still bitterness, if there's still resentment, take some time to really heal that part within you before you have the communication, before you just cancel something out. Things come back so you can reflect upon them and saying, okay, who am I now because of it? What have I learned from that experience and how can I move forward? Instead of just going on the attack and the defense. Like bitterness and that resentment is really an ugly vibration when, that feminine energy is like holding like the grudges, right? So really be mindful of the energy you're putting off and how it's showing up in your world to kind of be a reflection back. And again, if things come back this week and it activates old memories and less than ideal experiences, just take a moment and really reflect upon how much you've grown from it, how much you've overcome. I mean, you're amazing. You're an amazing, powerful warrior and warrioress, or god and goddess, if you're masculine or feminine watching this. Like, you are God's stormtroopers and you've shown up to shine the light. And earth angels have come to this planet to strengthen our emotional and mental bodies. I mean, the shadow part or the darkness or the ego knows that we're physically strong. It knows, the devil knows that we're physically strong. But it also knows that it can manipulate through our emotional and our mental and our ego mind. And that's how that energy gets in. That's how the 7 deadly sins creep in. So when you can work with people, maybe it's a mental health professional, maybe it's a spiritual advisor, maybe it's podcasts, maybe it's YouTube videos with people that resonate with you, who are speaking to you, and it's like they're speaking, you're hearing them and it's speaking to your heart. That's how you're strengthening your mental and emotional body, right? If not, we're going to have to keep working at it. So where is the manipulation? Where are you manipulating yourself? Like, I don't have to do that. I'll get to it tomorrow. Oh, I'll figure it out. We've all do it. We all go there, especially with earth angels. When we're up against resistance, right? We can easily pull back, avoiding confrontation, things like that. So how do you pull back and get clear about how you're feeling and, have conversations that are coming from the heart and really detaching from the outcome and how people will receive it and how they'll respond, and really just kind of accepting the place where they're at. That severs karmic ties and bonds. There are so many soul groups and dynamics that are shifting. I mean, you've been with these people for eons, and this is the lifetime to consciously handpick the people, places, things, and ideas that you want in this lifetime and lifetimes forward. So this is a very transitional lifetime for a lot of us. So there's a lot happening, and this is why consciousness is awakening, or the spiritual consciousness is awakening. People are going to cards more than ever, divination, connecting with intuition more than ever, and there's this expansion, that there's this force, this is energy that works through us to co-create and create love and beauty on this planet, which we so desperately need. So remember that only love is real. Shift your focus from the problem back to love. You've got to feel it in your body, friends. You can't fake it with law of attraction. You can't fake it till you make it with law of attraction, because you'll just keep creating more of the same. All right, so if you would like support or guidance for this stuff, these changes that are happening, my video chat sessions are still slightly discounted. They're not as deeply discounted as they were in April, but they're not back to the regular price yet. So if you've been wanting a session or wanting to reach out, those are still available. The link is in the description box below. God is good, friends. That's what I had to start with first. God is good. God loves me, and I had to be open and receptive to that first. All right, so let me close space, thanking all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God, source, creator of the universe, and all his holy beings of light that assisted, the divine feminine energy, Mother Nature, who continues to show up in her honesty. She is powerful. She lays it out there, right? But it comes from such a beautiful, maternal, loving space. Like, I'm going to love you, but I need you to see this. I know this is challenging, but this is going to help you. So I pray that you feel like these readings are nourishing you, and they're feeding you spiritually to empower you and encourage you to keep going on your journey. The world needs you. The world needs your gifts and your insight, your confidence, your self-esteem, your worth, your value, and really to kind of show up in the world in a way that the world has never seen. Earth angels are genuinely love. They come from an unconditional loving place. This is why we're susceptible to being taken advantage of, because we genuinely have this vibration of love within us. And so overall, the angels want you to tap back into that energy that you have and really nourish yourself with it this week. All right, I think that's all I have to say now. So thank you so much for watching. Click that subscribe button if you haven't yet. If you know somebody who is a loved one or a family member that can resonate with these messages, please share with them. If this resonated with you, hit that like button. It really gives me some insight in what you're liking and what to do more of. If you have any ideas, about some pick a card readings or something that you want to know more of, you can put it in the comments below, or you can send me an email. I'm always open and receptive to hearing what you want to know more of, or where you're at in your journey. And it comes from a place of love, right? For humanity. I love you. God loves you so much. Trust in the divine, trust your intuition, and I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now.